Hey everybody, Vikesroll here with another deck guide and gameplay video. Today's deck is Darius Gnar. I've got the deck code down in the description if you'd like to play the deck yourself. And then if you're just looking for some gameplay footage, you can head on over to the game number 1 timestamp in the video. Alright, so let's talk a little bit about the deck, how it works, kind of what's included, and kind of what the goal of the deck is. And then we'll also talk a little bit about the mulligan phase and just kind of the general game plan of the deck. Alright, so this deck runs Gnar and Darius as the champions. It's a Noxus Freljord deck. And so it's kind of really just an aggro deck. And so what you're trying to do is utilize a lot of your good Noxus and Freljord burn units, units that deal overwhelm damage or damage to the Nexus directly. And you're really trying to just outrace your opponent. And so we've got a couple different tricks up our sleeve to kind of help push through damage in the mid to late game if it gets to that point. But a lot of times you're able to kind of just push through the damage early on, especially against some of these control or mid-range decks that maybe don't have enough of the board to kind of contest your units. You're able to kind of push through damage really quickly. So yeah, the game plan is just push through damage as much as you can, and then kind of use some of these tricks like Battle Fury or Decisive Maneuver to kind of get some of that final damage in order to beat your opponent. Alright, so let's talk about the champions. So we run Gnar and Darius. So Gnar, of course, 4 mana, 4/3, quick attack with a strike, creates a Pokestick in hand. I know there's a new patch coming out soon, so Gnar may get nerfed a little bit. But for now, as of the time recording this, he is still 4 mana, 4/3 with the quick attack and the strike, creates a Pokestick, and then his level up form, of course, grants vulnerable to the strongest enemy, and then he goes to a 6/5 with that quick attack still. So really strong unit, and so he's always really good for aggro decks like this. And we also run Darius, so 6 mana, 6/6 with overwhelm, and then he levels up if you've got the enemy Nexus to 10 health or less, and then turns it to a 10/7. So he's really great for kind of as a finisher for this deck and kind of pushing the final touches of whatever damage you've done in the early game. So they pair really well in this type of deck. The followers we run, so we run 3 of Legion Rearguard, 1 mana 3/2 with can't block, but it's an aggro deck, you don't really care about blocking, so very solid card here. We also run Legion Saboteur, 1 mana 2/1 with attack ability, deals 1 to the enemy Nexus, so it's 1 guaranteed damage if you get her in the attack phase. Omen Hawk is another card we run here, so this is a Freljord card, 1 mana 1/1, and when you summon it, grants the top allies 2 allies in your deck +1/+1. So really good to have this early on. This is a great 1-drop because it can boost up your next 2 units, and then they kind of trade a little bit better into early boards. So Omen Hawk is a great early game card, and of course he can block into any 1 health units as well. So he's kind of useful as a chump blocker. He doesn't really push as much damage, but he helps you get your other units to push more damage, and kind of protects them as well, giving them a little bit more health along with their attack to kind of survive things. So Omen Hawk's pretty good in this deck. We also run 3 of Everos and Sentry, 2 mana 2/1 with the Last Breath, draw 1. So because it's an aggro deck, you're always looking for more cards in your hand. You typically play so many cheap cards that we're running low on cards quite often. So getting that Last Breath, draw 1 once he dies is great. And of course he's still got 2 attacks, so he still does some damage. Legion Grenadier, next card, 3 copies of this, 2 mana 3/2 with the Last Breath, deal 1 enemy Nexus. Again, over the top damage, that's what we're looking for, so very solid here. And that 3 attack is pretty good. We also run 3 of Ruthless Raider, so it's another Freljord card here, 2 mana 3/1 with Overwhelm and Tough, so it kind of survives some of those early pings like your Vile Feasts and group shots or Pokesticks. Those things can't even damage Ruthless Raider. And of course having Overwhelm damage is great as well, so very solid card here. And then we also run Tusk Speaker. So 2 mana 3/2 with Overwhelm, and then on play deals 1 to all Nexus. So again, that over the top damage, that guaranteed damage coming through. And having Overwhelm is very nice as well. And then the last follower we run is Fallen Reckoner. So this is a 5-cost unit, so a little bit expensive for an aggro deck, but has a great ability. So not only does it have Overwhelm and a 4/3 stat line, but when it's summoned, it grants the weakest enemy can't block. So this is really huge to help you push through damage and help get rid of some of those chump blockers that your opponent puts down, especially when your opponent's playing like a deck, like a Pantheon deck or something that doesn't run a lot of units. Being able to put this Fallen Reckoner down and having can't block to their unit can be really strong. So and then the added bonus is on Last Breath. So if you kill this Fallen Reckoner, it creates a Risen Reckoner in your hand, which is a 3 mana 6/3 with Overwhelm with Ephemeral, which also grants can't block to the weakest enemy when summoned. So that's so basically, ideally you want to have your Fallen Reckoner die either on your first attack or your opponent's turn, and then your next attack you get the Risen Reckoner you can play down. So it's a really strong combination, getting some of those can't block to the weakest enemies. And so really a lot of times that kind of messes up your opponent's game plan or makes it awkward for them to block your board. A lot of times, some of them don't want their stronger units to take any damage. They want them to kind of stay healthy, so it can kind of make it awkward for them. So that's the reason why we play him. He kind of makes it tough for opponents to block and deal with. All right, and then as far as spells go, we run 3 of Troll Chant. So this is a really strong card for Freljord in general. So it gives an ally +2 or +0/+2 to give an enemy -2/-0 this round at burst speed. So just a really great way to help your units survive in combat. Typically, you can kind of do this to get 2 favorable trades. Like you get boost 1 health of one of your allies' health up, and then you give negative enemy attack to one of your other units blockers, and so oftentimes you get a 2-for-1 there, to where they think they've got a great block where it kills both your units, and then both your units survive. So Troll Chant excellent for here. A good way to keep Gnar around as well, because a lot of times once you put down a Gnar, opponent usually tries to get a removal with that 3 health. So giving them up to 5 health can be really strong as well. All right, so that's Troll Chant. We also run 3 of Decimate, so this is just over top damage. This is your finisher card. 5 mana slow speed, deals 4 to the enemy Nexus. We run 2 of Decisive Maneuver. So these are kind of the next 2 spells here are the kind of the little bit of flavor, a little bit of fun cards to play with. So 5 mana, fast speed, which is important, stuns an enemy and gives all allies +2/+0 this round. So because Overwhelm still goes through, even if a unit that's blocking it gets stunned and gets removed from combat, Decisive Maneuver is a great card, and it gives all your allies +2 attack during the round. So a great way to do this is to open attack and have that 5 mana in your hand ready to go. And then once that your opponent declares blockers, you do your Decisive Maneuver on your best target. So you get to stun one enemy, push it out of the way. So you typically want that on one of your Overwhelm units, and then get all your other units +2/+0. So this is a really strong finishing card. Can kind of surprise a lot of people if they're not ready for it. And so another card that kind of goes along with that theme is Battle Fury. So 8 cost burst speed Freljord card, but it grants an ally +8/+4, so +8 extra damage, and then of course some extra health as well. This is great on your Overwhelm units. Great when your opponent has no way to either mini morph or vengeance or any way to really kill your unit outright. Battle Fury is a great spell, and so that's just kind of another way to push through lethal damage with one of your Overwhelm units typically. Or if they leave, like let's say you've got an Omen Hawk on the field and you've got everything else is getting blocked, and then your opponent kind of spends all their resources just dealing with your other units, and so they go out of mana. Then you got your Battle Fury on the Omen Hawk, turns into a 9/5, so that's pretty strong. So a lot of cool plays you can make with these cards here. But yeah, it's a pretty good deck overall. Definitely, I think it's pretty good for ladder climbing right now. We'll have to see after the next patch comes out how that affects things, but overall, I think it's a pretty strong deck. So definitely give it a shot and let me know how it goes for you. All right, so that's gonna do it for this gameplay, or like the overview. Let's go ahead and get into some games. Okay, up against Darkness. All right, nice. I do like keeping this just because it's such a strong card against their chump blockers. And we've got 1, 2, and then at least something on 3 as well. I'll go ahead and go with the Rearguard just because it can't be pinged down with a group shot or anything. Okay. Just to get in the damage now. Then we got like a 2, and then we got a 1 and a 2 for 3, so very least we've got a couple. Okay, nice. That's pretty good too. I'll go ahead and play this because this is a fantastic trade for me if he wants to trade here. Yeah, I'll definitely take that trade over these other ones, which I would rather not trade. Okay, there's Gnar. Nice. Okay. So I think we start with, okay, yeah, we'll start with this then, since that's a 2 health. See what he wants to do. Alright. So in this case, let's go ahead and get the Tusk Speaker going. Since he's definitely going to get to block something. So he's probably going to block there. Alright, got him down to 10. Or excuse me, 9. Looking pretty solid. We got Decimate too, that's looking good. Alright, so we could do this, but that's going to just get wiped out. So let's start with this here. If he wants to attack in, that's fine with me. Go ahead and play the Raider, and then we can also play the Fallen Record. Okay, interesting. He decides to do that. So it's still at 3, so he can't even use that. Interesting. Surprised he didn't want to spend that now. Yeah, there's no point in blocking either of those. Want to make sure we make him spend resources blocking. Alright, let's get this down. And then now that one can't block. Yeah, we're looking pretty good here. Still got the Decimate in hand as well. Okay, so probably gonna go here, yep. Okay, makes sense. Does give us another ephemeral for our following turn. Okay, let's see what else he's got here. Group shot, okay, sure. So he's going down to 2. So he could have done down to 3, he blocked one of these, but I guess he doesn't want to do that. Interesting. Alright, so we definitely can still get the win here. Okay, that's pretty good too. We'll start with Omen Hawk. See if we can get him to use up some of his okay, he's playing Vagar, so we'll go ahead and do Decimate now. See if he's got a Whale. Whales. Okay, yeah, got him. Nice. Very nice. Alright, against Twisted Fate. It's a bunch of damage. TF and damage. Okay, we'll go ahead and toss both these back. See if we can get a 1-drop. Okay, no 1-drop. Alright, unfortunately no 1-drop for this turn. Can get the Ruthless Raider down. Yeah, I think that's fine. This survives a lot of his pokes with that toughness. Okay. Does not survive that, unfortunately. Okay. Just get the damage in here. We do have Troll Chant as well. I think I want to save Troll Chant for Gnar next turn, even if he kills this. House Spider, sure. Okay. So he could go Twisted Fate here. Yeah, Twisted Fate is kind of bad, but alright, let's just go for it. Very likely he's got Twisted Fate, but you know, it is what it is, I guess. We still can flip him with the Tusk Speaker if he goes Twisted Fate. Okay, nice. He just goes with that. Okay. I think I'll take this because it's getting flipped. Okay. Alright, nice. We do have our Battle Fury coming up soon as well. Okay, we do have our pokey stick, so that's fine with me. Yeah, start with this here. Okay, interesting. He decides to do that. Definitely not gonna. So we're gonna have what, 6? So to get Battle Fury, we need to at least keep 2 mana. Okay, so I'm just gonna pass here. Okay. I think I'm fine with the pokey stick. I mean, he knows we have pokey stick in hand. Yeah, that attack doesn't really make much sense. Okay. If we go Battle Fury here, that's up to what, 14? Still really not that great, is it? But I think we still want to open attack here. So I'll do this. Go down to 9. I think that's fine. Okay. Could even go onto this thing with it. Could push a little bit more damage. Yeah, there should be no way for him to burst damage this, so I think I like this. He still could have guillotine afterwards, but I'm trying to think of what he could have to get to 6. I don't know. Maybe that's kind of risky, I guess. Okay, we went through though. Now we got him down where a decimate kills him too. Could flock this obviously now, but yeah, there's Scorched Earth. Yeah. So the good news is he'd have to put stuff on the stack to even damage him. Then he can't use like Scorched Earth and stuff. So that's what made that pretty nice. Okay. Yeah, so he should not have any healing in this deck. I would think not, at least. So I'm just going to go ahead and do this now. And we got him. Very nice. Alright, it's Fizz Lulu. Okay, this looks fine to me. I like having Troll Chant. Getting those Omen Hawks down early is good. Okay, alright, yep, they can block Fizz pretty well. And we get those buffs going. Okay, nice. I got Darius. Any reason not to just open here? Let's go Tusk Speaker. This can trade pretty well with a lot of his stuff. A lot of their stuff has like 1 health, so we'll see what he goes with here. Okay. Yep, there's a Looping Telescope. So we'll go and attack in. Get in for 2 plus this one probably, so 3 damage. Okay. Okay. Oh, we got the Serpent. Okay. It's a pretty good pull for him, for sure. Alright, Decimate. Alright, so it means that this Open Hawk can get a nice we can get a second buff on the next unit with this Omen Hawk. Okay, so get this one down here. Okay, sure. Alright. So he's got a pretty good attack here. Get in for solid damage here. So I'll go ahead and this this. I guess it doesn't really matter. Let's just keep some things alive. Keep our health total a little up. Okay, so now everything on his side's got 1 attack. Or excuse me, 1 health. Yours and arms will be a problem for sure. Okay, that's pretty good here. At the time, none of his stuff trades. He could have Yordle Captain. Okay, goes bomber twins. Nice. Alright, I'll do this. I want to attack with these because they're just not great blocks. He can block with that. Although, actually, if he's doing that... No, I need blockers back for Yordles and arms, so... Go like this. He could still find a way to trade, like with this plus a Mystic Shot. That does work, but... Okay, he has nothing. Okay. We have Darius coming in soon. Okay. Alright, interesting. So I'm assuming he'll pull this. We'll see though. He could go Yours and Arms here. Okay, he does go Yours and Arms. Okay, so let's go ahead and get down our sentry here. So he will get a kill on whatever. So we are looking pretty bad here. But sometimes they have Yours and Arms, you know. It's a strong card right now. So see if he pulls this. He should pull that. Otherwise we can, you know, block some damage there. But we'll see what he says to do. He's got guaranteed 11 damage. Then we obviously have to chunk the rest of it. And this is like a perfect trade here, so he definitely should be doing that, yeah. Okay. Is he really not going to do that? Does he really want to just keep this around? Is that what his goal is? Oh, interesting. Okay. Alright. Well, we have to do this anyways, so... Okay. I guess he wants to keep this rather than that, which makes sense, I guess. Yeah, that does make sense. Alright, so I think I'm going to go this and then go into Darius and just hope he doesn't have the burn. I think that's our only player here. Or if he's got another Yordles and Arms, I mean, this is our only chance, I think. If he's got burn, he wins. But we can't stop that, so we have to go for this play here. He's got another Yordles and Arms. He obviously will play that. He will survive if he does that. Because it'll go up to 6 and we can do 5 damage, so. Okay, so he's trying to get a Mecha Yordle. Okay. 6, yeah, that's going to keep him alive, unfortunately. Just enough. Yeah, that's too bad. So our only hope is to get a top deck here. Yeah, that's not going to do it. Too bad. Okay. They got us. Alright, up against Twisted Fate Nami. Okay. Toss those back. I think it's fine to keep these here. Okay. Definitely want early aggression against this deck. Okay. Like getting the Tusk Speaker down. Get all that damage in. Still turn away from Twisted Fate. Get another one of these down. It's a lot of damage coming to his face here if he doesn't have a blocker. Yeah, that Omen Hawk doing some nice work here. Okay. Okay, she's having to use that on one of our guys. Okay. Looking pretty good here. We're just gonna keep going. And these all have 2 health, so Twisted Fate is not even really threatening these things. Okay, yeah, that's a pretty weak Twisted Fate there. Start with this here. If he tries to attack, we can troll chant, which seems really bad for opponent to do this, but yeah, that seemed like a good play. That was kind of risky. There's really no reason to, right? Unless he needs the Twisted Fate to die, I guess. Okay, so there's the Mystic Shot, sure. So we're gonna keep playing stuff out. Yeah, for sure. Now for sure we're playing stuff out. Because we can basically dump our whole hand here. He's only got 5 mana to deal with it. Okay, so we can get his... None of these don't even trade with these at all. So... Okay. Go ahead and do this, just because if he gets something down, you know, we need to get as much damage in as possible. So we want him to make sure he's having to play this all out. Okay. Going down to 6, and he's losing his Nami and his 1/1s. Okay. Interesting, he wants to keep his Nami going. Okay. Does give me a draw, which is cool. Alright, not exactly what we want. It's kind of one of our worst top decks, to be honest. But alright, there's Saboteur. Okay. See if he can stabilize now. That'll be the challenge. If he's got Twisted Fate here, we're actually kind of in trouble here. Well, it's not horrible, I guess. We really need to top deck one of our more expensive cards here, I think. Okay. So Nami still hasn't... Okay, so he's gonna have Burblefish. So he's gonna get some damage in. Yeah, okay. Yeah, unfortunately this Troll Chant was not a great draw for us here. Decimate should be able to do it here. So he still had... Okay. We can actually do this minus that. Actually, is that even good? Oh, it takes us down to 1. What am I thinking? We needed this to die, actually. Oh, gosh. That was a misplay for sure. I mean, I've got the Decimate in hand, right? But still, I should have let this thing die. So, okay. Well, we still should be good. Yeah, I definitely should not have taken the damage off of there. Alright, this should still be lethal, though. Alright, yeah, we got him. Okay. Actually, it was a little closer than I thought there, but he was losing his whole board every turn, so, yeah. So, yeah, that's Gnar and Darius. Still a strong deck. You know, it's a, you know, Freljord, Noxus, pretty good combo. You know, I think getting stuff like Tusk Speaker now, one of the newer cards, kind of really helps push this deck a little over the top. Having that Overwhelm plus it deals damage to the Nexus over the top is nice. I think it's a pretty solid deck overall. You know, got things like the Fallen Reckoner, which can help push out those trump blockers. You know, Darius is obviously very strong now. He's got that the health boost, and so in this type of deck, he's really strong. And then play stuff like Battle Fury is kind of cute, and stuff like Decisive Maneuver as well. But yeah, that's the deck. Overall, I think it's pretty good for climbing. You know, you got a lot of good aggressive damage in, and then you kind of got some stuff to finish off with, you know, Decimate and Battle Fury. So yeah, go ahead and give the deck a shot. Let me know how it goes for you. So that's gonna do it for this video. We'll see you next time.